CyberMasters Podcast. It is Wednesday night. We're opening a little early. Our guest isn't with us. I'll be doing this solo, and we're talking about the advent of artificial intelligence in 2023. Incredible developments have happened towards the end of last year, and we have some crazy tools out. You're not going to believe this stuff exists. AI is out. I would say this year you're going to see an immense conversation around this. It's best to get ahead of it. It's best to understand what these tools do, the battle that Google is going to be encountering with Microsoft. Now, it's important to understand that Google has reigned as the primary search engine for how many years now, right? I guess when the internet started, it was sort of AOL and Yahoo, but Google's taken over. So I'm told of the $209 billion or so that they make, that 60% of it is from search engine activity. Now, I would say that in the last 3-4 months since ChatGPT came out, once you understand it, you will be doing far less Google searches. I see why there's a red alert at Google right now. We have a short documentary I'll play that'll go into it a little further. Let's dive a little bit into it. Actually, before that, let me talk about a little bit of our sponsor, okay? So United Network Associates is a professional technology management company. At this company, they do cybersecurity assessments, penetration tests, an entire slew of comprehensive IT management systems. You can reach them at this website, as you see on the screen. You can also reach them by hitting our website, Notella.com. You'll see a link there from that. Well, I'm available through that website if you're interested in a business consultation or an evaluation of what's happening on your network. It is our core business. I've been doing this for over 30 years and have an onslaught of partners and solutions that I bring to the market today, which is why we've started this show, to bring my experience, my knowledge, my partners to the table so everyone can kind of learn what this industry is all about. My thirst came on doing the show because I feel that for your basic business owner, there's some core concepts that are missed when it comes to technology. This is where me and my team flourish when we come in as consultants. And I'm giving you a little teaser on these shows of the things that we think about, we talk about regarding technology and all of this stuff. So let's jump in for a moment here. That was United Network Associates, our sponsor. Let's talk about what all of this stuff actually means, okay? Let me pull up some stuff here. I really wanted to show you what this is, okay? Here we go. This is ChatGPT. You access it by going to chat.openai.com. The reason you go there is because it's invented by the company OpenAI, which is now owned by Microsoft. This will eventually be incorporated into Bing. Bing is the primary browser that Microsoft has. If you take a look at news about Bing and you hit about this chat button, you now have to be invited into the waiting list to be able to use ChatGPT, the system we're about to demonstrate, inside of Microsoft Bing's browser. Now, what I noticed is when I hit that waiting list situation down there, actually, I'm still waiting. I was not able to register for the waiting list. So the way I get to the system is by going to chat.openai.com. What is all of this that we're looking at, okay? So this is an artificial chat, artificial question box that $90 billion has been sank into and can do some incredible things. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of tests of what we can do. It will write essays for you. It will write documents for you in incredible ways. So far, I've redone several pieces of documentation using this, and it has better grammar, more thoughts than I ever could come up with naturally. A little bit blown away by that. I want to kind of pull up the Chat GPT wiki and tell you what its definition is. I thought that's important. So let's take a look at that for a moment. ChatGPT is a chat generative pre-trained transformer. Okay? ChatGPT stands for a transformer. Why is it a transformer? Because it's built on this OpenAI's GPT-3 language set, an approach to transfer learning using supervised and reinforcement learning techniques. Sounds pretty complicated. You pretty much can ask it any question you want, and it'll give you advanced answers beyond anything you've seen. At this point, I'm not really doing Google searches anymore, and I've become reliant on the ChatGPT system for significantly better, realistic answers. I feel like I'm talking to someone when I put these things in there. So, chat generative pre-trained transformer, I want you guys to really understand this term here and what this actually means. What you guys got to know is at this point, there's a red alert at Google. If Google loses its its search engine thing that everyone's using, they're going to fall from the top. I can't even imagine how they'll recover. Now, I think they're coming out with a competitive product. I'm still trying to learn about it. But as of right now, this is all we got, right? So let's take a look at our little ChatGPT. Now, when you log into ChatGPT, you will have to create a username. I've used my Google login. You're allowed to use either Microsoft or Google login. I decided to use a Google login. So I've jumped in here, and now I'm going to do a search. What kind of search could we possibly imagine we're going to do? What's the last Google search you guys have done? Well, one of my interesting questions that's come up quite a bit of times with some friends is, what if you don't have a lot of time, but you're looking to make some side income? What is a great business to start on the side for secondary income? Let's pipe that into our question here. So let's say, what is a good business to start in 2023 with limited time? Let's take a look at here. Okay, it's giving me some errors. Now, why is this happening? There's a tremendous amount of people on the system. I've gotten errors several times in the past. It is happening because of an extreme amount of people who are logging in simultaneously. Take a look at that. Oops, something went wrong. As more and more people get on it and they're saturating the system, you're going to get things like this. But we'll come back to that and try that again. In the advent of these descriptors, where AI is now using language to give you answers, they've come up with another revolution where you can actually paint using AI, artificial intelligence painting. Let me take you to our second example, DALL-E. DALL-E is a new AI system that can create realistic images and art from a description in natural language. How does this work? They've built this incredible engine where you can describe something and it will spit out a photo for you. Let's try one of these. It's called DALL-E, DALL-E. Take a look at that. Also, it's at labs@openai.ai.com, another one of their products. And there's different pictures that it will automatically come up. So let's put one in, okay? Let's say a talk show host in New York with a gray jacket. Okay? Not very descriptive there. Let's see what's going on. It's building our photo. And we're going to see in a minute here. Usually it takes 30 seconds, a minute there. Whoa. Now the AI has taken our words and created these graphics. One of the things I'm noticing as I'm experimenting with all of this is notice their faces. Somehow the AI, I'm not sure what it's doing there, but it's creating some really strange, now that's pretty good. Okay, I'm not sure how that's a man, but look at what's happening there. I'm not sure what that's all about and why that's happening. Let's do another search here. Okay. Let's get rid of this. And how about anything from the audience? You guys want to put something in there? How about a rainy night in England in winter in winter with fog? Let's see. Now, I've done 1,000 of these kind of searches. I don't even know how creative to be. There's anything you can plug in. It's really wild. So look at our rainy night in England in winter with fog. Pretty damn interesting right there. Look at what the results are coming out. Again, DALL-E, AI-based graphic generator. Why is this happening? So I guess we'll be able to generate any kind of photo of anything we wanted to be able to use. I can generate these graphics and then use them personally. Throw it in there. Let's see what you guys can come up with. Oil paintings, pretty much anything in the world here. Matrix type evil sentinel character. Right? If you've seen The Matrix, there's a bad guy called the Sentinel, and he flies around and trying to kill all the humans. So let's see what our friends here. Oh, well, that doesn't look necessarily like our bad guy. It looks more like a sort of happy villain there. Interesting. Matrix type evil Sentinel character. You can do this all day and night. DALL-E is a great place to start to do this kind of thing. Let's jump back into our OpenAI generator and see if we can get back in there. Or if we still get that error. Yeah, look at that. It's flooded, guys. It is absolutely flooded. Let me try to get back in there this way. And here we are. We're back. Let's do a question. What would I do a Google search for? What is a car mechanic in let's say New York City? Will it come up? Seems to begin to generate. There we are. I asked, what is a car mechanic in New York City? And this is the type of response you get as opposed to Google going to a Google search. A car mechanic is a person who repairs car mechanics, obviously, you know. So let's ask another question. How about recommend a car mechanic in New York City? Survey says I don't have a specific car mechanic in New York City. However, I can suggest a few ways for you to find them. Look at that. Ask for recommendations. You can ask a friend, check online reviews, look for certifications. Interesting recommendations here. Okay, compare prices. They're kind of giving you a way to find your own way to search for this. I find that pretty interesting. What car mechanics are available in New York City? You can keep drilling and drilling down. It will do searches for you. It will make recommendations based on certain neighborhoods of where you're in. Let's see what they say here. Okay, so they recommend Midas, Meineke Car Care Center, Jiffy Lube, Firestone Complete Auto Care. There are many independent and locally owned car mechanics in the city, each offering a range of repair and maintenance. But they did give us a number of recommendations. And look, they're going back to how is the best way to find someone there. Something that I've done, let's go a little bit different direction with these searches. What is the best way to learn guitar in 2023? These searches seem to give me some really interesting reviews when I look for methods and recommendations of how to do things. What's the best way to learn guitar? In person? Notice how it's writing. Notice how it's laying out this text. This is what the AI is doing. The AI is talking to you as if it was a person. The AI is communicating with us as if there was another human here. As a matter of fact, I would say that the way this text is written is more superior than what I could pull off myself. This is some beautiful text. What's the best way to learn guitar? So number one, in-person lessons. Number two, online courses. There are many websites and platforms, absolutely. Video lessons, books and sheet music, practice, practice, practice. Interesting. How do I become a cyber security expert in 2023? Let's see what they say there. That's pretty interesting, right? Did my search go away? How do I become a cyber security expert in 2023? Come on, will you go? Sometimes it gets stuck, guys. There we go. Becoming a cybersecurity expert requires a combination of education, experience, and ongoing professional development. Look how it's laying this out. This is better than I could freeform write from what's in my brain. This is beautiful text. Following what this is telling you is pretty incredible. Take a look at how it's generating your answers. Why would you do a Google search on these questions instead of using the AI? Let's take a look at something else. I'd love to see what other questions you guys want to throw at it. Certainly, go in there, check by yourself. We're just doing a quick demonstration here of how this works. What other searches would I do? What does the red bump on my arm mean? All right, I have a red bump on my arm. Let's see what the AI tells us. Okay, some serious health conditions. It could be an insect bite. Okay, yes. Some skin irritation. I agree with that. An infection, bacterial, viral infection, may require a doctor's visit. An allergic reaction to something I'm wearing or something like that. Some kind of skin condition. Very nice. Now, Okay. That spoke to me in my language. Look at how it gave me that, right? So some of the searches that I do, for example, 6 months ago, is how do I learn about Adobe Photoshop? Okay, the reason I'm doing that is I want to learn Photoshop. It was time for me to really take pro classes on it. Let's see what the AI gives us. Powerful imaging software. Now, you guys gotta imagine I've now spent many sleepless nights in the system doing these kind of searches. I'm kind of blown away by this. Something must have cleared up in the last few minutes where a little bit light load came in. I guess a lot of people got errors and got bumped. I just decided to jump right back in, and it's not saturated. I've gotten messages where it says that the system is offline, the system can't be used because it's fully saturated, and they allow you to have 5 searches per hour. It is in still some kind of beta testing. I assume once it's fully incorporated into Microsoft Bing, it really becomes something incredible. Look at this, guys. Official Adobe tutorials, which is what I used. Online courses as well. I did not read any books. Spent a lot of time on YouTube tutorials, and I practiced my behind off to make some great, interesting stuff. So let's ask the relevant question. What is the best way for me to learn about AI? Let's see what the computer says here. Okay, here are some steps you can take to learn about. Get solid foundation in mathematics, computer science, which I have. Taking courses in linear algebra, calculus. Yes, I've done that. Study AI concepts and algorithms, which is what I'm learning right now. Gain hands-on experience, which we're doing together right now. Stay up to date with the latest technologies. Now, that's a key element because it's changing week by week. Systems are coming out. Google is scared to death. Yeah, there's going to be stuff coming out on a daily basis. Build a network. Experiment at your own. Any engineer has to do their own experimenting at night exhaustively. You're not going to learn this stuff in school. Experiment with AI tools and frameworks. We're doing that as we speak. So I just want to touch on some of these products that they're mentioning here. TensorFlow, pretty deep stuff. PyTorch, Scikit-learn, build and experiment with AI models, pretty important there. And as you've seen, guys, right, there's this text to graphics conversion concept that everyone's talking about. That's pretty important to kind of stay on top of. Let's do a couple more searches here while we're thinking about it. Let's see something else. Can you recommend a doctor in Manhasset, New York, for feet? Okay, let's see what they say there. Okay, something's generating, and let's go to our new generated text. Okay, here we go. They say you can find a foot doctor in Manhasset using online resources. The APMA is where we should look to find a good foot doctor. Interesting that they gave us that particular site and some advice of how to choose that doctor. So look at where the AI is going. It's not necessarily giving us particular people on the map or what to do. But look at this next search, right? What software do you recommend to learn AI? Depending of how you put these questions is what results you're going to get. Now, you can imagine there are thousands of ways to place your questions, which comes to a completely different problem in the industry. How are we going to code these questions properly? Who will place these questions in such a way that is more advanced than what you're thinking about? Look at what the AI is doing. It may not give us specific doctors or car mechanics in the region, but it's defining the top pieces of software for learning AI. Look at what I just did there. The AI has put together a list for us based on AI learning tools. You're not going to get results like this from questions like this in any other search engine. How is it possible that Microsoft took the lead here? They're beating Google down. I love this. Look at that. What is the best accounting software for small businesses in 2023? Survey says. Look at the response there. Here's a popular few options. Look at what it's doing. This is something I've been looking for my whole life. Look at what's happening here. It's giving you product recommendations, a little bit of detail about it. I mean, people hire consultants to ask her and answer these questions. This is absolutely amazing. The reason I can no longer really live without this tool is while I know all this stuff, I am now double checking what I've done inside of these AI searches. There has been a couple of incidents where it's come up with stuff that I could not come up with stuff after 30 years in the business. Look at this. What's the best accounting software for small business in 2023? Just a couple of ideas here. QuickBooks, Xero, Wave, FreshBooks, Zoho Books. These are fabulous examples. I would say those are the top ones for small businesses right now. QuickBooks is not the only answer. There's a lot of online systems. I would say regarding this particular question, when QuickBooks went online, things changed a little bit. And there's still a lot of people in the old QuickBooks version, but when QuickBooks went online, these other competitors began to really take hold and have very nice options here, right? So pretty incredible stuff, guys. I'm a little blown away. Look at the history it's building here of my searches. It's keeping my searches on the side here. Now, one of the things that's important is each search is built on top of the previous one. It's created some problems inside of there. You can tell it something and then ask questions on it, and we'll use your text you inserted to give you back an answer, which can be wrong at times. That's a test I'm going to do with a scientist on our next show about this. So take a look. All the previous searches I've done. Data backup alternative. Lunch suggestion options. Ransomware. I was looking for Gatorade for my daughter that didn't have red dyes in it, and it gave me the brands. I have a Chihuahua. I was looking for the history. Optimizing. How to best optimize a 5-location distribution warehouse company. And look at what it spit out here for us. I can go deeper and deeper down this text and write a whole entire book. The items that I created the other day in 20 minutes would have taken me several days to create. Now you can take this text, you can copy and paste it, right into your word processor, however you want to do it. Now, here's the scary part, folks. Write me an essay for 4th grade about George Washington. That's pretty damn scary. Let's see what our fourth graders are going to get from this result. So now imagine that your son and daughter now has to write an essay about George Washington. They're still young. They're supposed to imagine all this and do research. That person can do this. Start here. Double check what they've learned from here. Look, it's writing us an entire essay. Is this going to be blocked in schools? I mean, I showed it to my son. He was blown away. He's like, Dad, I don't have to write a report again. This is gorgeous. You can't find this on Google. You got to assemble this yourself using a Google search. Look what's happening here, guys. It won't stop. It's giving you more A+ text than you can come up with on your own. That's amazing. Now we can go far, far down that rabbit hole, ask specific questions. Grab stuff from this text and expand on it further for our essay. The artificial intelligence is building all of this. Let's go back to the graphics stuff, which really is some intense things. DALL-E, okay? I want to jump back into this program. We've done a couple of ChatGPT questions, very interesting results. They've taken this technology now where you use the natural language to create these graphics. And that's how we got this, if you've been watching. So we're now going to type in a description of something we want the artificial intelligence to draw for us. Similar how the artificial intelligence is creating results of texts and essays for us. So I want a picture of an elephant in the water, playing with a bird. I don't know. In the rain. I'm just trying to show you what it's doing. There's some real life stuff that we can do. These are just some of the more wild searches. Look at what it's doing. How did the AI just do this? Are you guys watching this? Are you guys seeing what just happened here? The AI took my words, elephant in the water playing with a bird in the rain, and has produced these 4 photos for me that I can use anywhere I want now. I can download this photo. It is mine. Download. It's in my graphics now. Guys, do you realize I've created a graphics from scratch just by putting in some words? What the heck is this? Okay. How about a company logo about birds, about bird watching? How about that, right? You're a bird watching company and you provide birds and you want to come up with a company logo. Let's see what they say here. I find this stuff really interesting, what the AI is conceptualizing, what's going on here. Now, I don't understand this just yet, but look at the graphics we've gotten. Came up with some pretty cool designs. Geez, I like that one. But it's screwing up all the words here. I'm still trying to find out why it's putting wacky words in there. But these are great logo ideas to start with, and then you can generate your own font. It's a place to start, right? How about a exciting video podcast about technology, right? So let's say I wanted to come up with a logo besides the super exciting logos that I currently have for the show, and I wanted to get some ideas, right? So let's just get some ideas there. what does the AI tell us would be a good logo I could use for my very exciting technology podcast about life and technology? All right. Whoa, what is this? Why is it doing that with the faces? The AI is doing some wacky stuff. Great idea. Place to start. I'm having trouble understanding this. Why are they faces coming out to look like they're monsters? That's something I'm trying to get past. Now, I've learned something interesting of what the next level for these problems are. But first, before we jump into that, I'm going to show you yet another really interesting text to AI graphics site. Let's take a look at this one. It is called, yes, none other than Stable Diffusion Online. Interesting, easy to use. Stable Diffusion Web is an easy to use interface for creating images using the recently released Stable Diffusion Image Generator model. Okay, look at that, GPU enabled. Here's our little generator. Let's see what we see here. So Stable Diffusion, let's throw the same questions at it. An exciting video podcast about technology. All right, let's generate an image there. Wow. Every time I generate these images, I'm blown away. What just happened here? This is Stable Diffusion's version, and this is what they came up with. Also, some ideas, interesting basic look. But what are they doing with the faces? Why do these people look like I've seen them in a nightmare after a long night of drinking? Is that supposed to be just basic art and design, and ultimately you go from there? I'm not getting this just yet, you know. Let's do another one, all right? Let's open up to something basic, all right? So we've done some wacky stuff. Let's just do a beach in the tropics with sun and birds. All right, can you imagine that? That's where we want to be right now, right? A beach in the tropics with sun and birds, maybe a cocktail or something like that. Wow, look at what the AI generated for us. It's doing this on the fly. Now, are we ever going to need artists again? Are we going to need writers again? I mean, when I created the UNA website, we used a copywriter, right, to create that. We used graphics folks to create these graphics for us. And now I can ask a question and bam, I've got an answer here, guys. I don't know. So let's take a look at another one, right? Let's say we're going to start a business, a landscaping business. So a landscaping business logo. Okay, it's kind of generic. I guess I could have been far more detailed with what I'm trying to ask here. Well, that's pretty interesting. Again, basic concepts here. I don't understand why it's doing this with the words, but I guess some basic ideas AI is putting together, and you take it to the next level. To be honest, these are pretty cool logo ideas. Good work, AI. Is this AI maybe better than some people who even know this stuff really well? That's pretty interesting. Let's do another search here, guys. Anything you can come up with? Yes. Okay. So how about a new computer store logo? I have spent hours and days doing this exhaustively. It blows me away. Let's see what they come up with. Look at that. That's pretty dang cool. Look at that. You could use that for kind of abstract. Look at where that's coming from. I'm pretty amazed by what's going on here. Okay, how is all this happening? So, a couple of days ago, a friend came to me and said, "Well, you don't realize what's going on, Ed. These searches have to be much deeper, and they have to be done in a particular way. Each word, each nuance will alter how the graphics comes out." I said, "Really? How does that work? How would one program this kind of stuff? How would one be able to come up with the language to give you the best case scenario, the best picture, a customized picture, if you will?" So something that we realized was happening is that there's experts out there who do know how to ask the questions to create a graphic that doesn't distort the faces and is quite accurate and customized for your needs. There's folks who understand how to put language together and ask it in a particular way to get a more detailed answer to what you're looking for. I'm not there yet. These things are called, and you're going to be pretty interesting to know what this is all about. They're called AI prompts. You're hearing this on this show really as a brand new thing. AI prompts are code and descriptors that you put into these text generators and produce a more accurate graphic using the AI. This is difficult to understand, but one would develop a prompt, a list of questions in a particular method to produce more detailed and accurate graphics. The advent of these prompts has begun. Prompts are now for sale. Let's take a look at that. For sale. There's engineers, prompt base. They're calling out our generators, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, some of the others. And they're selling prompts, meaning predefined text language in a format that produces accurate AI results. These are these prompts. These are these codes. Somehow, over the last few months, this has become a whole entire business where coders are learning how to create prompts that people like me would buy to create incredible results. I would have customized versions of these graphics however I wanted to make them happen. Look at how that comes out. I want to show you guys something else. See my face? Yes. That's my face. And I used an AI generator with some of these prompts in there to create pictures of my face. Take a look at what I came up with. This is pretty interesting stuff. Here we go. That's Ed Notella using the Dawn AI generator. Now it's taking the AI and taking my face and incorporating it into pictures of other celebrities and predetermined prompts. Now I'm using these photos in everything that I do now. I've used an AI generator to create these kind of amazing graphics that I would probably pay a lot of money for someone to create. And bam, here you go. There's probably about 10 of them on your iPhone. Look what it's doing, right? It's maybe not exactly close to my face, but certainly this AI character, wow, look at me there. Damn, man, that's some superhero. Yeah, That's the Ed Notella. You'd learn how to. Maybe that's my new logo there, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like the Matrix. I would say in this one they took, my face and mixed it in with code for AI, and this is the results we've gotten. There's my other wacky picture of myself. I did another round not too long ago where I did these male sort of modeling pictures. There's me as a male model. That's my favorite one. That's like this futuristic sort of Dune. I'm a Dune guy in that picture. There we are. There we go. Pretty funny stuff there. Look at that. Look at that. Now, some of them look older, younger. Sorry, that is a different picture there. And pretty cool stuff there. Let's take a look at this one. That was one of my first ones I generated. So, Ed Notella. That definitely looks like me, right? That's a great picture, man. Thank you, AI. I can't get away from this. I'm in AI like every moment now, learning how to program AI. I wanna learn all of these particular tools and really understand how it all works together. I want to program my own prompts. I want to be in the prompt business if possible. I don't know exactly where to start yet and what system is the best for me to kind of go into it. But it all started with OpenAI. Really, you guys got to really understand who OpenAI is. OpenAI is this company right here. All right, they're shaping the future of technology. It's coming up here. Give it a second. These are where all these tools are. Look at their featured sets here. Let me get rid of my face. Right, so they got ChatGPT, DALL-E, Whisper, Alignment. These are all the products that these guys have. Highly recommend you spend a little time on there. Let's see what their little video is here.
Imagine the wildest idea that you've ever had, and you're curious about how it might scale to something that's 100, 1,000 times bigger. This is a place where you can get to do that.
OpenAI is building the general technologies that can extend the reach of the human brain and our creativity. DALL-E really brings high-quality creations to anyone. Our coding models serve as a coding assistant in tools like Copilot, and GPT-3 is a system that has a robust understanding of language.
Our mission is to create highly capable AI technologies and deploy them to the world for the benefit of humanity in a way that is safe and beneficial for all.
I think that AI will be a technological revolution on the scale of the agricultural, the industrial, the computer revolution, and we have no goal other than the creation and deployment of safe, beneficial AGI. We have a nonprofit that governs everything and the ability to block deployments that would make commercial sense, but we think create safety issues and our whole structures around that.
I really like the way OpenAI are trying to build AGI, namely by harnessing large amounts of real-world data to train powerful and supervised models, and then steering those with human alignment to create agents that can actually do useful things.
OpenAI is truly unique in that sense of being able to work in a very nimble fashion, at the same time having all the resources in the world to solve.
So I just want to stop there. You guys can spend time and check this out all on your own. It's the primary video at OpenAI's website. You guys got to spend some time there. You need to understand what's going on with this website and what's there. So really quick, you go to OpenAI. You can go to ChatGPT at the bottom here. This is what it looks like, ChatGPT, optimizing language models for dialogue. We've trained a model called ChatGPT, which interacts in a conversational way. The dialogue format makes it possible for ChatGPT to answer following questions: admit its mistakes, challenge incorrect premises, reject inappropriate requests, It's assembling to instruct GPT, which is a trained to follow an instruction a prompt and provide detailed responses. You can hit try chat GPT, and voila, we're in that search. You can clear those searches, which is something you want to do. I've kept these searches on for demonstration purposes, but they need to be cleared when we start fresh conversations over and over. I've cleared it about 100 times. I've just kept these on for our show here. And then secondly, our DALL-E platform, which is the other open API platform, which has given birth to a whole revolution of how to write this code. Pretty incredible stuff. Highly recommend spending time in DALL-E and just the whole open API platform. What incredible stuff. You learned it here first. I'm going to be doing a more extensive show on this as I learn more, as my colleagues come, and we have big shows about this. We want to program prompts. We're going to be talking about prompts and the evolution of prompts and what we've learned about it, what the intricacies are of it. Please get involved. If you are not involved at this point, you might be left behind, as they say. Please don't get left behind. It's a fairly big deal. I need to show you what's happening in the industry because Google is in panic mode. In the last few months since this came out, what happens to Google and their big search engine? Let's take a look at my documentary here. It's a short one about this very subject that just came out about this.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. This was Google in 1998.
So we're right between that house and this house. We're renting this half of my house. Ping pong table, computer. Go to the other side of the office. There's Larry, CEO of Google. Say something on your earphones. Hi.
It was a small company run out of the garage of Susan Wojcicki, who is, interestingly, the current CEO of YouTube. Simply from recognizing the value of organizing information on the web, Google managed to grow from a few tinkering PhD students to a formidable giant that now owns over 90% of search and carries out over 8 billion search queries per day. For 2 decades now, Google has been the undisputed king of web searches. The term Google has been synonymous with searching for information. Need a recipe, or a movie review, or just settling an argument with a friend? You can just Google it. With a net worth of $1.15 trillion in 2022, they seem unstoppable. So what exactly could make a massive company like Google panic? So much so that they issued an internal code red. Well, it's open.
An internal code red. Guys, it's been years. They never thought they'd be unseated. Here it is, guys. Google potentially being unseated.
AI's ChatGPT, of course. With Microsoft's plans to integrate the AI system into their search engine, Bing, Google Search may face a serious threat for the first time in its history. Could this be one of the biggest technology story arcs in history? While making this episode, I kind of felt like we're at the beginning of an AI war. So in the following, we'll learn what Google might do about the situation. They're actually already fighting back. We'll get into that. And we'll also see why exactly ChatGPT is such a threat to Google's central business plan. Let's take a look.
Why is it such a threat? Because look at what we just did. And they have not come up with a competitive product as of yet. I'm sure as we're speaking right now, there's boardrooms of people trying to figure out this problem. What the heck is going to happen next? How are we going to come out with this? Of course, clearly they're going to come up with a competing product, right? Well, let's see what the rest of this documentary says about this.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
To transform just about every industry, including education, ChatGPT passed the U.S. medical licensing exam. the bar exam and got a B on a Wharton MBA paper.
A conversational chatbot capable of responding to any query in a human-like manner always seemed to be a technology of the future, for the masses anyway, until ChatGPT. Following its release, ChatGPT has garnered huge attention from around the world. To give you an idea of the scale of this moment, ChatGPT has been the fastest app in history to reach 100 million users.
Did you guys hear that? First app in history to reach 100 million users.
It's taken just 2 months, whereas TikTok took 9 and Instagram 30.
Guys, look at that. They're leading with compared to everything else on the internet.
A rapid adoption rate is a classic early signal of a disruptive product or technology. A couple of months ago, we took a deep dive into ChatGPT. Since then, it's been updated and is better than ever. However, as I previously stated, it's important to note that it's not perfect and may sometimes give bias or outright incorrect information. If you want to see that episode on ChatGPT and OpenAI's views on the future of these systems in more detail, the link for that episode can be found in the description below.
This is good.
Microsoft is looking to capitalize, namely by putting this technology in their search engine, Bing. The massive implications of this will be discussed later in the episode. But for now, we've got to find out something. How did Microsoft and OpenAI get involved with each other in the first place? The alliance between the two started in 2019 when Microsoft invested $1 billion into OpenAI. This was very crucial for both companies. OpenAI needed some cash as well as the computing power of Microsoft's Azure cloud services. This allowed the AI research firm to scale and drastically reduce its operating costs. Microsoft, on the other hand, was able to acquire OpenAI's intellectual property portfolio in the process. In essence, Microsoft now has access to some of the world's best AI technology, giving it a competitive edge over other major players in the tech industry. Since then, Microsoft and OpenAI have been working together on various projects.
And specifically, ChatGPT. CEO Satya Nadella is saying its impact will be, quote, at the magnitude of the personal computer, the internet, mobile devices, and the cloud.
When Microsoft made the bombshell announcement that they were integrating ChatGPT into Bing, Google was in shock. An emergency code red situation was declared, and I could imagine the frantic meetings. One Google executive told the New York Times it was a make or break moment for the company. But wait, this is Google we're talking about. The company with far and away the world's leading search engine. They dominate 90% of search queries. Microsoft, with their dinky little Bing, accounts for only 9% of worldwide desktop searches in 2022. So why is Google panicking? Google is looking at what might happen in the future and not what's happening today. Chatbots are not new, but the level of performance seen by ChatGPT definitely is. The thing that sets it apart from the Medicore chatbots of the past is that it's a generative pre-trained transformer, or GPT. In plain language, it just means that it's been trained on billions of parameters and petabytes of text. This training allows the system to generate new text in a way that mimics the understanding of a wide range of queries and can respond accordingly. ChatGPT, or the inevitable flood of AI assistants, has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with search engines. Microsoft.
Guys, it's going to revolutionize how we interact with search engines. Look at the examples we made. This is great. How was Google going to be unseated? Who knew this was going to come out of left field like this year? Really, really cool stuff.
And that's why they've been betting on OpenAI and its technology. For a second, I just want you to stop and think about it. If an AI-powered search engine gave you the specific information or answer you want in a concise manner, but you could also ask further questions and drill down into the details that you want, this would be revolutionary. You don't have to click through a bunch of links and waste your time. Right now, if you want a specific answer, you have to Google what you're looking for, get a bunch of results that may or may not fit, And if it's specific enough, you end up going to a forum anyway and searching through all the answers there. In this AI-powered search engine world, the answer would already be synthesized for you. And this is because the AI has already crawled through the whole web and read it already. And I think this is where AI-powered search will excel the most. For very specific problems, just this implication alone is huge. Obviously, if you want to know something political or something that could have a slant or bias, that's another story.
Okay, honey, we really gotta go.
Sorry, guys. Of course, there's commercials in here. Trying to catch it before they come up. Pretty sick documentary.
It has Google shook a little bit, calling a code red, and there's a good reason for that. ChatGPT is potentially an existential threat to Google's business because Google relies 60% of its revenue on search, and ChatGPT offers an alternative to search, which is a one-stop question answering shop powered by AI. But this could change the game of search entirely and Google's business.
If OpenAI integrates a ChatGPT-like language model into Bing's search engine, people will just be able to find the results that they need without having to scroll through a flat page of search results that are littered with ads.
Let me stop there for a second because I want to bring up the fact that it's not integrated yet. And when you go to Bing, okay, let me pull this up again. When you go to Bing, it ends up telling you that you have to do this, all right? So when you go to Bing, you have to go to the chat button at the top, and chat mode is only available when you have access to the new Bing, all right? And there's a join the waiting list button at the bottom. I have not been able to overcome the waiting list requirement. I work with someone in the office who's a Microsoft beta tester who has this, who this morning told me, hey, buddy, yeah, I don't have to go to OpenAI. I just go to Bing. So I tried it, and it wouldn't let me on this freaking waiting list. And I'm sitting there to get on this waiting list, join the waiting list. Okay, well, us regular non-beta tester folk still have to go to OpenAI until this is open for us. But I would say it's probably worth it to attempt to join the waiting list. Try it a couple of times over time and try to get in there. But this entire ChatGPT will be part of Bing before you know it. So what happens next? Google, what are you going to do, right? Well, and what's Apple going to do? It's not going to be part of the Firefox browser. It's not going to be part of the Google browser. It's not going to be part of Safari. I guess Bing is going to be everywhere. I find it interesting. I logged in to the OpenAI using a Google account. It gave you the option. You want to log in with a Google account or you want to log in with a Microsoft account. Now, since it's a Microsoft product, I probably would have logged in with a Microsoft account. But just for, shits and giggles, I logged in with a Google account and it gave me all of this access that you see here on the screen that we've been playing with. I don't know when this Bing thing will be resolved. I would imagine weeks, maybe months or so. And then we'll all be able to just download the new Bing and it'll be all part of it. Now, I did a search online for alternatives to ChatGPT. The only thing that Google came back with as a valid alternative was the IBM Watson system. IBM Watson is one of the most intelligent design systems for years. Now, I jumped on the IBM Watson system, and they have nothing even close to what you're seeing here. It is not a competitor at this point, right? So, to me, OpenAI has clearly exploded with this. Microsoft, good work for investing that money. You guys saw the documentary. What is Google doing now? Guys, maybe that's an interesting question, actually. What is Google going to do now? I wonder what DALL-E has to say about what Google's going to do now. That'd be an interesting question, right? What do you guys, what's Google going to do? Pretty cool, guys. Check out, again, I recommend the DALL-E system. That's that graphic system we were talking about. Let's type it in here, right? A picture of what is Google going to do about ChatGPT? I guess it's a really silly question, but let's see anyway, right? I guess it's more of a question than it is a graphic. I'm obviously not using the system correctly, but interesting thought here. Maybe this is going to be some kind of Google Chat. I guess that would make sense. Interesting thought here, right? I mean, guys, look, we could do this all day long and generate graphics, right? Let me do something a little bit more detailed. A small dog in the city with a blue collar, I don't know, and a red bow. Let's see what survey says here. So I imagine I'm really never going to have to search on Google. I could just generate my own AI graphics every time. Look at that. Look at our little cutie. Look at our little cutie right there. Look at that. Oh, look at that. What's that red thing over there? Okay, look. Very interesting. Look at what it did here for us, guys. Why would you have to hunt graphics down on Google when you can just do this? Let's say you're making an estimate and, I don't know, you want to explain to the guy what a rack is, all right? Hello, Mr. Customer. We're going to be putting a 3-foot rack mounted on the wall with all of your network gear in it so we can clean up your messed up data closet. Well, what does it look like? I can go to Google and start searching, or what does DALL-E say? So we're looking for a, what did I say, 4-foot, let's say 3-foot data rack mounted in the closet on the wall, okay? I may want to look this up for a client and grab some pictures from Google to send it, or I would do this as an alternative. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. It is a rack. It's not exactly what I had in mind. It's sort of more like this. So say, hey, Mr. Customer, it's going to look like this. We're going to mount it on the wall. It's in a metal cage, and we'll put all our equipment in there so it's all nice and tidy. Really? All right, well, that begins to sort of tell the picture. And then I say to the client, all right, so we're going to be putting in a new rack, and in your new building, we'll be putting in patch panels and wiring to every office so that you can plug in your computer. What are you talking about, Mr. Sales Guy? Well, behind this closet, right, so in this rack, there'll be a small module called a patch panel where all the wires spider into. What do you mean? A patch panel with wiring, okay? So we're having this conversation. I could go out to Google and start looking for certain things, or I can just have this live conversation. Keep in mind that I can also use these pictures in the document further. But for example, this is what we're talking about. So this is a patch panel, and we're looking at the back of it, and all our wires will neatly plug right into the back, and this will be installed into this rack, and all the wires will look perfectly beautiful, and we'll have a well set up rack that's locked in and tamper proof to boot. So imagine having these advanced conversations where you can refer to your AI text generator to describe things further without doing Google searches. Really specific. Now with the advent of these prompts are going to change the whole thing, where specialists are going to write certain code to give you a more exact prompt situation, right? So just want to go back to that prompt business, AI prompts for sale, okay? Let's put that guy in there. Let's get our iPad. AI prompts for sale. Why would they be for sale? Because the searches we're doing are not elaborate enough. These are predetermined prompts where your searches produce highly accurate, beautiful pieces of art. Look, $2.99 for this particular one. And these are predetermined search texts that will give you better results without the gobbledygook. I don't know how to use this stuff yet. I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be using ChatGPT to figure out where to start, whether I'm doing okay, and kind of take me through the whole thing. Imagine this, guys. Are we going to be able to type fast enough to interact with the AI at maximum speed? Is it possible that the use of a keyboard or mouse, the way you're seeing me interact, is not the best way to use the system? Is it possible, consider this, that implant, the Neuralink, the Elon Musk Neuralink implant, will allow me to interact with these systems, create prompts, everything at a much more accelerated level than I would with any other human who's using a keyboard and mouse? Do you realize that the advent of these tools coming out this year gives leeway to the Neuralink for a regular person to be able to use these tools at accelerated levels automatically without the use of a keyboard and mouse? To me, that does excite me pretty heavily. Do I want to have an implant to be able to compete at that level? I don't know what kind of medical implications are coming from that. But yeah, that sounds mad exciting. Would I do surgery on my head to be able to use all these tools without a keyboard and mouse? I don't know. As a tech guy, it sounds pretty enticing, to be honest with you, you know. Not sure what to tell you about that. But thank you for watching our episode tonight. I hope you enjoyed the documentary and our introduction to OpenAI, to our DALL-E system, to our ChatGPT, and all this amazing stuff we've done there. Guys, check it out. Don't get left behind. You don't want to be left behind on this. In the next year, our world will be different online. In 1 year, this is going to revolutionize exactly how we work. All of us need to jump in and understand what's going on here. If you don't, and you 2-3 years from now will not be using Google searches the same way. Understand, even on the surface, what a prompt is, how to do proper searches. It's going to be a whole thing I'm going to be doing a show on once I create and understand prompts myself. This is brand new stuff. You can call me if you have questions. You can send me emails. I look forward to talking more about this. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.